Okay, so we're here with arguably probably one of the most talented people that ever graced daytime.
Wow.
Tom Pelphrey.
Oh, thank you.
How are you?
Don't let Zimmer hear that.
Right. Oh, great. We'll edit that. No.
Yeah.
So, what can you tell us about your theater company, the Apothecary Theater?
Well, it's 13 members, and all of us graduated Rutgers University together. And I guess this has kind of been a dream of all of ours for years. And just over the past year, it's come to fruition, mainly under Dennis Flanagan, who was a classmate of mine, and Sean Renfro. And yeah, so we've gone from last January just having a few meetings like, let's make a theater company, to being an official not-for-profit company incorporated in New York City. And we are here on the eve of the closing weekend of our premiere production, which is Crazy Sexy Dead, Night of Don Nigro 1X.
All right.
Yeah.
And so I understand you star in 2 of the 4 one-act plays.
I do.
What can you tell us about your characters in each?
Well, Wonders of the Invisible World is the first one. I play Griffin, who is, the character from the H.G. Wells book, The Invisible Man. This is a take on that. And so I come on stage completely covered in bandages with no skin exposed, wearing gloves, a smoking jacket and ascot, a wig, terrible wig. I look like David Bowie on a really bad day. Big glasses, and it's the exchange between him and Millie, who's this servant, and very intellectual play, brings up a lot of interesting ideas and explores the relationship of kind of 2 lonely people.
And now in that role, how is it acting when you're not actually seen? Is it harder for you to do since you're actually wrapped?
Well, according to my friend Mike Tardio, it's the best thing I've ever done because he couldn't see my face.
Sounds like a great friend.
He's like, Tom, that was the best play I've ever seen you. And I was like, thanks, Mike. He's like, yeah, because he couldn't see your face.
Oh.
It's like, great. No, it's interesting, but I've had to work with making some kind of mask to give my mouth some room because the language is so beautiful, and also it's a British accent, and there's a lot of words for me to say that the words then become so important, obviously, because I'm not moving almost also, and you don't see my face, so it's really important to play with the language. So it's been great for me to kind of, you still go through all the same things you usually go through, but yet the only thing you can put it into is the words. No expressions, no movement, no anything. It's all coming out through the language. So it's been an interesting thing for me to explore.
And then what about your second character? Fair
Rosamond and her murderer, and I'm the murderer. It's great. It's a romp. It's a fairy tale. It's Kate and I, we talked about it with our director, and we're like, basically we're telling a fairy tale to a room full of kindergarten children, and it's kind of over the top, and I guess I'm probably usually a little over the top anyway, but this is really over the top. I mean, and it's wonderful. Everybody loves it. I mean, it's just kind of a farce romp. And it changes a little bit at the end, but it's a beautiful play. It's fun.
Is Art the character like Jonathan at all?
No. Well, maybe the murderer, just because he has a really good sense of humor.
So, what's the hardest aspect of doing live theater?
Getting people to come. No, I mean, there's so many things, especially this production, because we're doing this all ourselves. I mean, I was at Home Depot sawing boards, nailing together a door. Katya's sewing curtains. We're all finding our own costumes, hanging lights, and it's just the stuff we used to do in college. So there's a lot of little difficulties you come up against where you're like, oh wow, I know this is our first time, so we're learning a lot of lessons. But aside from that, it's just a joy.
And what's the most rewarding part of it?
For me, it's always rehearsal. Like, I don't know, you get that time to feel like you're an intelligent actor who's contributing creatively with ideas and with energy and with, let's figure this out, let's make this the best it can be. And then, of course, the live show, when you can feel, if the audience is with you, there's like this tangible thing in the room, and you're like, yeah. Because the most important thing is that they dig the play,
Right.
and the story gets told, and you're like, they're with us, they're with us, they're with us. It's so cool.
You feed off that energy then.
Yeah, and it almost helps you discover new things as you go, and you can feel how closely they're with you, and they react to certain things you say, and you're like, oh, that's interesting, you know. I never thought about that like that. But to them who are seeing this for the first time, you know, they have all these great reactions, and they can be subtle too. But yeah.
Now, so what do you tap into when you, because you always play intense roles, what do you tap into to get yourself so worked up and so intense?
Coffee and cigarettes.
Yeah.
I don't know. Every time is a different thing, you know, and that's what makes it fun. So,
Are you going to stay in New York, or are you going to head back out to California when you're done?
I'm going to go back to California for a while in the beginning of January. I'm going to spend the holidays here with my family. Mm-hmm. And then I go back to California, and I'll stay there probably for a few more months and see how it goes.
Anything lined up? Any other projects that you have after this, or
no,
none to speak of?
No, just hustling.
So, any plans to return to Guiding Light maybe in the new year?
There are no plans, but you know, like I always say never or whatever. But no, nothing in the works right now.
All right. And you got a message for the fans?
Thank you for supporting me and hopefully Apothecary Theater Company. And you can check out our website at www.apothecarytheatercompany.org. And thank you, as always, for your support.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks.